101 Ways to Torture Killua. Alright, so with this episode of Hunter x Hunter, I definitely gotta say that I'm starting to notice that up until like a few episodes ago, we were getting like major progression and stuff like that. And then the past few episodes, while they've been pretty awesome episodes, I feel as though the progression has definitely slowed down a lot in this Chimera Ant arc, as opposed to how remember, we were getting like Kite's head being cut off, we were heading towards the Royal Guards, all sorts of shit. Then with like latest episodes, I feel as though, while again, they've been pretty decent episodes, it feels as though it's mainly like focusing a lot of these little guys, little ants. And while it's cool and all, it definitely is starting to become a bit noticeable, I guess, with a couple past episodes, for me personally anyway. In this episode, I felt as though one of the best lessons is, if you see a good dude out there and he's in trouble, even if you're enemies with him, maybe helping him out might help you out later. It's not always the case where, crush your enemies until they're completely destroyed, because in this episode, when Killua saved the octopus, obviously later on he returned the favor, and it's like, yeah, if you see a decent person out there, and even if, you're at odds with them and whatnot, maybe it can pay off to help them out, because maybe they might help you out when you're in a tight spot. And it definitely was displayed with this episode, I felt, with the whole Killua situation. But a big majority of the episode, I felt, was mainly just looking at Killua getting tortured by those fucking darts turning into fish. Well, not turning into fish, but the fish materializing when the darts hit the board. I felt like that was a big majority of the episode, and while it was cool and there's blood everywhere, yeah, it was definitely like, wow. So I watched a good chunk of this episode of Killua in pain. I'm not a masochist, so I did not get off to that. And I'm just curious if we really will ever get some sort of time skip with these characters, because I mean, Killua's what, like 12, 13, around there, right? And he's already like this smart. At this point, it's almost to the point where you can say, like, in certain aspects, as far as knowledge goes anyway, he's kind of like OP. Like, he just strategized this whole thing while he's getting hit by darts. He took all the hits until the countdown so he could stop the final one. And it makes you think, like, is Killua really, like, too strong or too smart for his age? I definitely say as far as strength, no, because if he had the strength, he would have immediately, been able to fix the situation, no problem. But I definitely say as far as smarts go, it definitely seems like he's a bit above and beyond his like age, because it's like he's 12 or 13 or whatever, and he's already been able to deduce this in a crazy situation and think like a rational adult. And we get the explanations, when he was 6, he was trained as a, for darts, and he became like a master, or 7, he said, whatever. And it really just makes you think, like, this character is very smart and is awesome. It makes the character pretty fucking awesome. But is he a bit like too smart for his age? Like, if we got a time skip, how much better can Killua be when he's already making deductions like this in such a critical situation? Anybody in that situation, when they're fucking bloody, taking arrow after arrow or fish after fish to their body, they're not going to be able to think rationally. This kid, while he's getting fucking pierced all over the body, the arms, ears, legs, it's like he's not really like taking the damage to a point where it's like, oh my god, I can't think. So it's like, this kid is very smart, and at times it does feel a little bit like, man, this kid is a bit too smart for his age. It's like, where could he possibly go from here if you were to age this character up a bit? It's like, he's already like, almost, you could say, pro tier. Like, he knows too much, I think, for his age, which is a good and a bad thing. It's good because it's like, this character, you put him in the most toughest situations, he's gonna help out, and he's just progressing a lot as far as the character goes. But as far as like, just from a standpoint of looking at it, like, where could he go as far as just being this tactician? It's like, he's already, I feel as though, a master at that. I guess once again, an episode like this just displayed more of his character and who he is and what type of person he is. If he thought the octopus was cool, and he was gonna save the octopus. I don't give a fuck if he doesn't like being called an octopus. He's an octopus, so I'm gonna call him an octopus. So if anything, the episode like this and the last one definitely was mostly focused on showing character of him. And I also liked a little bit of the scene we got with Gon and that other weird looking ant, where he was pretty much like, oh, if I found out you were lying, that'll be even better, because then I could show you no mercy. That'll be easier. And it's like, Gon, this character, when I get little glimpses of this, I feel as though he lives by his own rules. He abides by his own guidelines of what he thinks is right and wrong. And it's like, I will be nice to you. You can possibly even fool me. But the second I catch your ass, you're done. And I like that. That's like, yeah, you might be able to get one up on me. You might be able to get something up on me. But the minute I get you, it's a wrap. And I respect that. Like, if anything, that is like a very different approach to a shonen main character than you get in any other series. So I really like stuff like that. And this episode overall, we get the end where he kind of outsmarts them and beheads them. Epic shit on that. It was good and all, but I feel as though it mainly served as character development for Killua again. And I thought it was just about the same as far as like enjoyment wise, as far as just what it did, character development, as last week's episode. So again, I give this one a good 7 out of 10. It was a good episode. Made me feel a little bit like, yeah, we're not on the progression as far as story goes, like heavy like we were back then, but it's definitely serving as character development. Even small scenes like that with Gon, you really see he abides by his own rules. He's not like anybody else that you will get. He's not Goku, he's not Luffy, he's not Naruto. He is Gon Freaks, and he has his own way of thinking. And I'm glad that so far it seems as though we're safe regarding animation. I haven't really seen a big drop or anything, so we're still good in that department. Let me know what you think, guys. Would you save an octopus if it was trying to kill you because you thought it was a cool dude? And also, what do you think about Killua? Do you think that he's a bit too knowledgeable for his age? Do you think that makes him a little bit too OP at the age of 12, 13, and like there's not too much room for him to grow as far as that goes? Or you think he's just right for what he is? I'm a little bit like, I think sometimes it feels as though he's a bit too overplayed regarding his mind. That's just really me. As far as strength goes, I still say, yeah, he has a ways to go. I don't think he can outdo the best of them as far as strength goes. But for knowledge, for his age, I feel as though he's a bit too OP in that aspect. But that's all I have for this review. Thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed. Thumbs up if you can't wait to see what's going to happen next, because I've seen the preview and it seems as though we're going to go back into some of the major stuff in the story. I'm ForneverWorld, and as always, people, have an awesome day.